So, today we've got Aidan Muir from Grampian Secure on the Business Spotlight. Welcome, Aidan. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you so much for inviting me along.
No, it's really good to have you here. So just tell us, who are you and what do you do?
So, I'm the Managing Director of Grampian Secure. We provide security services across Scotland, trying to branch out further. So what we provide is security guarding, hospitality security, mobile patrol security, event security, everything security we'll look at.
Okay, and all across Scotland, so not just Grampian.
So we are mainly based in Aberdeen, but we do tend to cover things out with Aberdeen, as far as Glasgow, Edinburgh. Just depends on what the requirements are.
Brilliant, awesome. So how long have you been doing that?
Only a year and a half now, since May 2021.
And how big a team have you got?
I have 100 employees at the moment.
Wow.
We are still recruiting, because we do a lot of subcontract work for bigger clients, that demand sometimes 49 people for an event or something. So
is it part-time and ad hoc?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there is a mix of a few more hours though. Like I've got a permanent site fixtures, that people getting 48 hours a week there and everything. So yeah.
Brilliant. So is it there's a lot being said at the moment about the lack of talent and difficulty it is in finding good people. Are you finding that?
Yeah. Oh yes, definitely. The experience you used to have when you're bringing someone in for an interview or something, they have at least 2 or 3 years experience, but now you're finding that you're getting people that are students. It's all students that are coming to work, and everyone with experience must have crawled under a rock, and hid away. So it is a bit of a difficult situation with that.
So does that mean you just have to provide more training, or?
Yeah, so it's kind of just making sure that they know exactly what you require and help them along with little tips and tricks to make sure they stay safe while performing their duties.
So just thinking about your journey, so a year and a half into your business, what have been the big learnings that you've had since you started in business?
It'd probably be that there's no friends in business.
Oh, tell me more.
It's just, so when I first set out to start this company, I tried to make sure, so a lot of security companies down like London way, they all work together to build the price up so you can pay more to your staff. But it seems up in Aberdeen, Scotland area, there's a lot of, like, I get it's all competition, but we could be working together to make it a better rate and make sure that we get better. But everyone's just going at each other headstrong, saying, I've had people come up to me saying, "Oh, I'm better than you. I can do better than you." It's not about that. My own goal is just to change this industry.
Oh, I like it.
Make it better for the people who are working in it.
Obviously without fixing prices, because I think that would be illegal, but yeah. So you're finding it very competitive then, rather than collaborative.
Yeah,
that's a shame, because I guess that the opportunities to make a difference in your industry would be amplified if you can work together.
Yeah, well, if we could all work together, it means if we got a big job that one of us couldn't handle, means the other people could step in and fill the numbers in and whatnot, to make sure we're all getting a part of it, all growing together. It's a big enough country for everyone, So
is that your mission then, to change the industry?
Yes. I remember when I first started working on the doors, I was paid £7.75 an hour. to stand on a door on my own, with no experience. It was my very first day, and yeah, it's horrendous pay. So, I want to change the pay. I want to change the training. I want to change the attitude from people towards security. Everyone thinks security is just a bum in a chair who probably goes to sleep. And don't get me wrong, there is people that make that impressions happen. But I want to kind of just make sure it's the best people we can get in the security industry and treat them the best,
So is that what makes you different from
I would
other
say so. Yeah,
Yeah.
I suppose I've got a bit of a bigger heart, Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love it. So what do you just had a little mental block there about my next question. Did you always want to run your own business?
No, not really. It kind of just happened. I've always liked the idea of it, but I never thought about doing it until the day I registered the business, really. It was.
So what brought you to that point then?
So it was during COVID, and someone I knew had taken the publican lease of a hotel, and they were doing security, and they says, "Oh, Aidan, can you recommend someone for me, or recommend some doorman I can hire?" I went, "Well, you know what? I'm doing nothing at the moment. I'll come and do it, and I'll bring some people along." So I was just doing it to help out a friend. So obviously, to make everything run proper, I had to register the company and do invoicing and all that. But then I didn't plan for it to go any further than that. But then next thing I know, it was growing arms and legs, and I was getting contracts here, got contracts there,
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So here you are, a year and a half later, with 100 staff on your books. What do the next 5 years bring? What are your big goals?
My main goal is to open another base in main cities in Scotland. Mainly for mobile patrol to start with, because that's it's probably the most lucrative side of things, and the best funding for each new city. So, that's my plan, to develop across Scotland to make sure I've got a base in every city.
Fantastic. And who's helped you along in your journey? I mean, you're not going to get there with a base in every city without some support. Who's been your best support?
So I got a management team. Actually, my older brother is also part of that management team. I took him over because he actually used to work in the security industry as a mobile patrol driver for one of the biggest security companies in the world. So I took him over to lead my mobile patrol team to start with, but then I've taken him on as operations manager, and I've got my area support, area manager as well. He actually done the first shift with me. He was just a friend I knew from before, and then he's obviously stayed and grown with the company, along with a few others that are starting to get into the management position, who hopefully make sure everything runs smoothly for the growth of the company. So
yeah, how important is having the right people in the success of your business?
It is very, very important, because to start with, I had a bit of trust issues with allowing, this is my baby, trusting someone to help me grow it. It's a big step. But beforehand, I was struggling to keep on top with everything, because it was just happening so quickly. You need this done, that done, everything, it all had to be done in a timeline, and you couldn't do it on your own. Or if you did, you'd have no time to even take a drink of water, Yeah.
So if somebody's watching this and they're growing their business and it's growing fast, what's your best piece of advice? I mean, you've kind of been through that fast pace.
I'd say just make sure that you've got your, well, definitely me, I have like diaries and planners and everything just to keep my head on top, because the last thing you want is a client, booking you and then you let them down, because that's where your name starts turning to, well, rubbish at the end, to be honest. So just make sure you've got a support team around you. And if you're not happy with what your support team is, change it up. Because if you make exceptions for your support team, oh, they're my best friend, but they're not pulling their weight, get rid of them and change it over, because you're not going to grow with that same, people who are pulling you back already. So, yeah.
Oh, great piece of advice there. Yeah, make sure that you've got the right people. So, what's been, are there any tools or software or, any systems that you use that you would, that you wouldn't be able to run your business without, that you would recommend for others?
So obviously I use Sage for my payroll. I've got this system called Param. It's great. It's for scheduling shifts. It's actually as long as it's a shift scheduler, it's also a HR platform. So you can do your employee records on that system rather than having to have hard copies. And it's all encrypted and everything. So it's probably the best thing you've got there, to be fair. And then our mobile patrol app called Big Change. That's the best system out there, I believe. I've not found anything better. And that's what's kind of driving us apart from our competitors as well.
Well, we've just told them what you're using, so
yeah, no,
it's out there.
It's expensive though, so
all right, okay.
A lot of people switching over to that. It's a big expense, so you've got to make sure that you have the margin in it to actually be able to compete with that one.
Is it an expense or an investment?
Well, it's an investment, obviously, because that's what's brought on. So I recently have had a case where me and another security company, we've both got the exact same systems, both use Big Change, but we won. So we were both working on the contract, and then they got told they weren't needed anymore, and we got kept on, because although we have the systems as well to make this happen, it's the way I run things, my minimum standards, and my commitment to my clients. Every client to me means the exact same. So the systems just help, but really it's the way that I do the standards that matter.
Yeah. So the clients are getting the excellence of service, I guess.
Yes, definitely.
So just thinking about that, it sounds great. We'd love to be a client of yours. It sounds like you really know what you're doing and doing it well. Who are your ideal clients?
Well, to be fair, when I first started the company, it was mainly just looked at the hospitality sector. But there's a lot of issues with that. Obviously, come January, February time, that's when the hospitality sector just dives right down, because no one's going out drinking, really. My ideal client now is more at mobile patrol and static sites, because that's a continuous thing. They always need to cover. And to be fair, going around, a lot of people have then realised that they're not getting the service that they should be getting. There's people out there that are paying double the price that I charge, and I would provide a much better service.
Okay, so if we know of anyone who needs your services, we know where to come. Actually, where do we come? Where can we find you?
So our head office is based in Aberdeen at the moment, and that's where we've started up, and that's where we'll be for continuing the head office here. But eventually, we'll go anywhere that we get called to. So all it is the website. Come there and you can make your inquiries that way. Okay,
so that's grampiansecure.com or .co.uk?
www.grampiansecure.co.uk.
Okay, that's brilliant. Well, thank you very much for sharing your business story on the Business Spotlight, Aidan. It's been really nice chatting to you. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you for having me.